Hello and welcome to Terraformers. Terraformers is a new turn-based city builder, colony builder game from Asteroid Lab and published by Goblins Publishing. Last time I saw their name was As Far as the Eye, which I played, probably about a year ago now. Goblins Publishing, that is. They published that game as well. I enjoyed that immensely and wish I had had more time to play it at the time. Even have more time to play it on stream or on YouTube. But time is time. Terraformers is, as I mentioned, a turn-based city colony builder where we are tasked with terraforming Mars. We are given a city to start with, and we expand out to nodes in the area around the city and claim those nodes where we can use them for mining or construction. Meanwhile, we're also building components into our city, kind of as the title screen here shows, to enhance the city. We can then expand to other cities and continue the expansion, all while trying to terraform Mars. So this game also has some roguelike elements to it, so everything is a little bit randomized. And we also make some sort of meta progress, which we'll show, I think, in a moment here when I click the new game. Before we do that, let's just take a quick glance at the settings. Kind of your usual types of settings. Instead of interface scale, instead of it being dynamic, it's kind of a static set, which is interesting. Reverse zoom, I don't really use the zoom at all, I don't think. Zoom speed fast, if I do use it, that makes sense. I think that's... everything is fine, and of course I turn the sound down a little bit here because sound is always loud in games, which I don't mind, except that it needs to be balanced with my my voice level, so we turn it down a little bit here. The music does tend to swell in the game, so I do have it down a bit low right now, so it might be a little bit faint to hear, but it swells up to about the same volume level as my voice, so I wanted to make sure that we could that it wasn't too loud later on in the game. So let's go ahead and click new game. So we started out here. We start out here at the red planet awaits, and I've already done this this first mission here, where we had to earn 300 victory points. I did that as my test game, but I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to do it again so that we can start out kind of at the beginning. As part of that, you earn these mastery levels. It's basically like a meta level up. Points you earn for completing a city, or completing a map or a mission or whatever you want to call these. But I think you also might get points for failing, as long as you fail well. And then, so this must kind of serve as, interesting. I didn't even think to look down here at these other ones. I didn't think they would be unlocked, but they are. So the red planet awaits. Your goal is to earn these points, and I can jump up to the 400 or the 500 point one here, or I can go down here to the red path, where I can choose resource production as a goal. Requires a production of 4 water, 4 nitrates, 4 silicates, 4 titanium, 4 tritium per turn, and then up here a little bit higher demand as well, 5. Green path is spreading life. We have to earn 20 total life form prestige. Blue path is there's only one dot here, so these get harder as you come down along. Also, for all 4 terrifying parameters are level 2, and then per aspera ad astra, earning space points, 150 space points. Okay, but I don't know what half of those... well, I do know what they kind of are, but I think the expectation is that you do at least some of these, and then you can start working on these different paths to give yourself additional challenges. These are those mastery levels. We're at mastery level 3 after playing through the first mission. We're going to do it again, but it kind of gives us a step here of where those are, and each one unlocks... each step rather unlocks another dot here. So let's just go in here and start this one again, and that way we can get a feel for the game. I am in no way an expert at this game. I think I did pretty well when I played through this one the first time, but I could do poorly this time, or I could do well this time, or who knows. but we're going to check it out and see what happens at least. Welcome to the Mars Colonization Project. A small step for the colonists, but a giant leap for mankind. The shuttle has landed and your people are ready to settle on the Red Planet. Everyone on the ship is aware of the historic importance of this mission and the great responsibility resting upon their shoulders. Their lives will be spent beneath the domes of artificial habitats, but they are not here for themselves. They are here for the future of the human race. It will be a long time before a human can breathe Martian air, but everyone is willing to work tirelessly to make that day arrive. Earth has sent resources to start the settlement and proposes some leaders to represent you on Mars. Good luck. So we have 3 possible options here of the resources we can take with us. There are several resources that we're going to be able to earn in the game, including the ones you see here. Maybe all the ones you see here: power, food, water, titanium, nitrates, silicates. Yeah, that looks like all of them. So we can choose to take whichever of these sets we want. Down here we also have a building, a greenhouse farm, that costs 10 water to place. It produces 1 food per turn. It must be built in a city. And a habitation module, which costs 30 food to place, gives us +1 human population. Both population and robots increase the maximum buildings and locations a city can have, but only 1 population provides support equal to the comfort of living of the city they live in. And so this habitation module must be built in a city as well. And this is a standard housing unit straight from a space station. So it's kind of a basic housing unit. And this is a standard greenhouse farm using sunlight and water to grow food, by the way. Over here in growth, we have a habitation module as well. Same details as this one. We also have a soil factory, which causes adjacent food-producing buildings to produce 1 more food per turn. This will cost us 22 nitrates to place and must be built in a city. And then we also have a greenhouse farm. Finally, we have Utopian, which is a Martia, which costs 30 food and 5 titanium, adds 1 human population. This population is fully protected from radiation. Both population and robots, we've already read that one, and a house printed from regolith and providing protection against radiation. And then we have a domed park, which costs 10 nitrates and 20 silicates. Provides 4 support per turn. Adjacent population provides +4 support per turn and must be built in a city. So that's one of the things that I've noticed on some of these. You have this adjacency modifier that you want to build these next to the buildings, the type of buildings that they modify. Being able to walk amongst the trees under the sky is a luxury on Mars. So if you also noticed, even coming back here, this costs 10 water, which we conveniently have been given. This costs 30 food, of which we've been given 29. However, this greenhouse farm will give us 1 food per turn, so we would have 30 after 1 turn. So we'd be able to place this at that second turn. We also are given 50 power and 5 titanium on top of that. This one here, again, this costs 30 food. We only have 10 food. So we couldn't place this right away even if we wanted to, but this costs 22 nitrates, which conveniently is exactly how much we've been given, and this costs 10 water, which is conveniently how much we've been given. So every turn we would earn 2 food, and so that means that we would have 10 turns until we could actually place the habitation module, unless we got food from another source, which we'll get into when we get into the game. But we're only given 40 power. So while you do get food bonus here, you're given less power, you're given less ability to have the habitation module placed right away, which reduces your population, which reduces your expansion ability, and your maximum buildings. And it also reduces your support, that's what that's called, that you get early on. And then finally in Utopian, this costs 30 food and 5 titanium. So that leaves us with 10 food and 10 titanium left. And then this costs 10 nitrates and 20 silicates, which we conveniently have. And this gets us 40 power, 10 extra food, 10 extra titanium, but we start out with no food production, and we start out with a lot of support. I think my choice would be balanced. Well, because it's balanced, of course. But growth wouldn't be too bad in my opinion, as far as this stands, except for the early lack of anything but food production. The early lack of the benefits the population gives. And then Utopian's the opposite. You get all the benefits of the population, but you don't get any food production right away. So I think we'll go with balanced, and we'll see how that goes with us. So here we have a gauge up here that shows the current total support value, as well as the change per turn. And I think this meter might go up and down depending on things. I can't remember now. Here's our resources. Again, all the things we started out with that we just read off. And then there are trade routes later. We'll get to those when we get to them. Over here we have our 4 terraformation indicators: temperature, oxygen, ocean level, and atmosphere. These are all at 0, and atmosphere is at 3 for some reason. I don't know why. Out of 60, though, whereas these are all 0 out of 30. Down here at the bottom, we have the 2 buildings that we were given to start with, and we'll place the greenhouse farm in a moment. Over here, we have a leader panel. We need to select a leader for our colony, and this is actually not just our city, but our entire colony. And the leader changes every 10 turns? I can't remember how many turns it is now. The leader changes every so many turns, and we get a choice of between a couple of leaders there. Turn indicator down here, year. You can revert, I think, just 1 step each turn. So be careful with that. And then an advancement button. And if there's a red alarm on it, you won't be able to click it. We have 3 red alarms, so we have a lot of work to do. And if there's a yellow alarm on it, you can click it and you will get some extra bonus items instead of doing the thing that the alarm is telling you to do. So it kind of keeps you from doing too much. Finally, I skipped this. Up here is our total terraformation value. Those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 values shown there add together to give us a total, victory point score, and we have to get 300 to pass this level. Up here, of course, is the menu and a way to report bugs, because Terraformers is early access. Okay, so, and oh, by the way, I want to thank Goblins Publishing. I meant to say that when I was talking about them, and went off on a side tangent there, which is redundant, I suppose. I want to thank Goblins Publishing for sending me a key to play this game, by the way. Much appreciated, and I was looking forward to playing it anyway. So let's choose a leader. Open the leader panel. We have 2 leaders to choose from. They always have a little backstory here. They have some skills down here, which we'll get into, and then a specialization. Gustav Mirzoyan. Expertise is in artificial intelligence. Gustav is an expert in simulation programming and created the Mars colonization simulation with help of Jorge Dromedo. Born to an Armenian father and Swedish mother who met at a Demoscene event, he was always fascinated by the possibilities of computing. He understands the importance of testing new real-world applications in the controlled environment of a computer simulation, and has been providing complex environment sims for the governments around the world. His expertise will greatly benefit our research branch. His skills are exploration, which everyone has the Explorer skill. It costs you power to explore, so keep that in mind. Energy, he generates 5 power per turn. I'll get that in a second. And applied research. 2 more projects are proposed this turn. You gain +3 science. And his specialization is advanced machine learning. Increases your science production by 1 for every 7 robots you construct. So the way these skills work is you can only choose 1 each turn. So you can choose to explore, you can choose to generate 5 power, or you can choose to show 2 more projects each turn, proposed each turn. And I'll get to that in a moment. And then it gains 3 science on top of that. And then, of course, this bonus is science production for robot construction. We have no robots. I don't know when we'll get robots, let alone when we'll build robots. So he may not be a great choice to start out with, but we'll see what Jorge Dromedo is specialized in. His expertise is construction, where his extensive 3D printed modules revolutionized architecture on Earth. His methods of building high-density apartment complexes and arcologies from fiber-reinforced polymer modules offer the perfect balance between flexibility and easy maintenance. He came into the field of architecture through his passion for designing complex 3D structures on the computer, and he's never seen without his tablet PC. Hey, look, there it is. His expertise in designing housing modules for regions with harsh weather conditions will be of great use on Mars. So again, exploration is always a thing. Earthworks destroyed 2 rocks for free this turn. And modular apartments. Construct modular apartments for its food cost only. I don't know what the other costs normally are for modular apartments, but for 30 food, it gets us +1 population. And it gets us +3 support per turn if it's adjacent to at least one other modular apartment. So if we take him, and also his specialization here is rural construction, constructing regional buildings, which is a building built on the map directly on a node on the map, costs 15% less resources. So if we take him, we'll want to build at least 2 of these modular apartments next to each other throughout the course of his leadership, which means we'll need to have 30, ideally we'd build that many. That means we'll need to have 30 food earned within the time of his leadership, which might be tough, but we might be able to gain it by exploration alone, and we'll get to that in a moment. And so I think he's the better choice of the 2. I'm not that thrilled about either one, but being able to destroy 2 rocks for free this turn, in a turn rather, is not a bad deal, as we'll see in a moment. So we're going to go with Jorge. Now, so here on the world map, so now we have Jorge here, his 3 possibilities here, although we don't have the resources to build the modular apartments yet. He's here, his skills are here. We still do not have a headquarters in our city. It says one of your cities, but then again, we only have 1 city, so that's easy. Here on the map, we have these regions. There's Solus, which is this region here. You can see the region lines, and it is currently -1 temperature. That's not actual degrees. That's just kind of like a climate zone temperature. Oxygen level is -3, and rain is -1. So those, I think, come together with these over here. I haven't fully grasped that idea yet, but I think that's the case, to kind of give you an overall score for the region. Excuse me. And then we also know about this region down here, Cyrenum Occidental. And we know about that one's name, rather. We don't know anything about it, but we know that one's name because we have these additional 4 nodes here, 2 of which are in that zone, that we can explore to using the Explore feature here, and gain some resources as indicated by the little icons over the region. If there was one that said food, I would go to it right away. There isn't, so let's just go into the city and see what we can do. So right off, we can either explore right away, or we could knock down these 2 rocks right away. I think what I will do, of course, is put down the headquarters, which is what we have to do first. This tells us that we can put the headquarters anywhere where there is where there's an open circle here. Those are the only sites where you can build buildings on, and be wary of where the rocks are, because even though some of the dots are linked by these lines, which are connectors, and if a dot is blocked, if a connection to a dot from between 2 dots is blocked by a rock, then you will not be able to build buildings on either side of that rock until that rock is removed, i.e. this, or just using 3 power to remove it. So we want to be careful, because this one here is blocking access to this circle, or this site, and these 2 sites from the rest of the city. So we want to be careful with that. So I think we're just going to build maybe the headquarters up here, kind of out of the way. It gives us 1 population, it gives us comfort of living with +1 support per turn, but it doesn't have any adjacency bonuses, so we're fine putting that off in the corner someplace. If not, you can relocate it, but it will cost you a turn to relocate. It will not produce for a turn while it's relocating. So then we're going to place the greenhouse farm, and there, as we saw in one of the other starting sets, there are sometimes buildings that can be used for adjacency bonus with farms. We want to probably put a farm someplace where we can get an adjacency bonus for it. Maybe over here someplace. Maybe here. And then we'll have to wait to build a habitation module for one more turn. Or we could use his ability to build a modular apartment, which might be better because it actually has the bonus of +3 support, whereas this one only has +1 support. So that's useful. So let's if we go here now to the end screen button, it asks if we're sure if we wish to end the turn. Your leader can still perform an action. Ending the turn will convert this turn to 10 support. So if we choose to opt out of using one of these three, we'll get 10 support, but we really need to use power, or really need to use exploration. So we're going to sacrifice 1 power, which you can see here below each of these nodes, to explore and find something. There's silicates and science here. There's titanium and nitrates here, likewise here. And up here there is tritium and titanium. Now you get a small amount of each of these resources here, and then the node can either have one of those resources or none of them once you unlock that node. And I think what we'll do is and I think the first one, there's more of the first one than the second one, but I'm not positive on that. It also might be related to the size of the icon. So this one here might have more titanium, less nitrates, whereas these are about equal. That must be it, actually, the size of the icon. And this one has more nitrates, less titanium. I think we could do this one. So we gain +3 silicates, +2 science, nothing but red rocks covering a flat plain as far as the eye can see. After a bit of cleanup, this will be the perfect location for a large building. The resource survey of the area has revealed small hints of silicates. The location is of scientific interest. We can collect the samples recovered while prospecting. All right, so let's collect those items. And that unlocks usually 1 or 2, maybe 3 connected nodes that we can go to another time. Some of them sometimes have 3. Oh yeah, it does say large hint versus small hint of resource. Okay, it does say that. And then now we've opened up a node in this region, we now know the name of it, which is Tharsis. So now that we've done everything we can do this turn, finally we're 1 turn in, let's click next. And we now have research projects, and this is where the other leader that we had the ability to choose from had the ability to spawn 2 additional research projects here for us to choose from. So it gives you a little bit more choice. The first one is a tuber farm. It costs 10 nitrates, gives us +1 food per turn. Must be built in a city, of course. Mark didn't have such a bad idea. We can grow lots of potatoes from nitrates. Or a tritium thermal generator. With 9 tritium, we can build a power plant that will generate 1 power per turn, as well as a reduction in support if there's adjacent population. And then finally, we have the choice of a laboratory, which costs 5 nitrates and 5 silicates, produces 1 science per turn, and must be built in a city. A laboratory suited for a wide array of research. I think I like the additional food, especially if we want to try and squeeze out 2 of these from him before he retires. So let's go with the extra food. We'll need to get some nitrates in order to build it, but let's do it anyway. And we can get nitrates from down here, I think, although I want to build the modular apartments first. So we're going to build his modular apartments, and we're going to click on the city. And we want to build the modular apartments where we can build 2 of them next to each other. So let's just build them maybe over here someplace. Yeah, let's go like right there. And you can see the background stuff changes as you build more stuff too, which is interesting. We're going to save this habitation module for much, much later. Probably the next city we build, by the way. And I think that's everything we want to do this turn. We've gained some overall support here. I've at 111 now. We've spent most of our resources, but we need to get some nitrates. We'll get that large hint next turn. And we also have this little flashy arrows with a 1 here. And what that lets us do is that lets us expand our city to an adjacent location. And that we can't actually use this right now because, oh, I guess we can. I lied. Maybe I didn't want to do this. It's fine. We'll be fine. Because we'll be able to use that eventually. I shouldn't have done it though. Actually, I could undo it. Yep, I can undo it. I'm going to leave it. Okay. This allows you to expand to an adjacent city or adjacent site, but you have to have explored that site first. So we're going to wait. We'll see what this reveals. Maybe we'll expand in this direction next time. The blank sites are useful for building, buildings that are built on a site, which we don't have any yet, but we'll see those in a few turns, I suspect. Okay, next turn. Another habitation module. I think we'll pass on that. We can do another greenhouse farm. That might not be a bad idea if we're going to try and squeeze out his second hab module, modular apartment module, or the tritium thermal generator again. We're not going to get a whole lot of tritium right away. I mean, we do have the one site that we can loot, so I think we'll go with this farm as well. We need to try and get some water though, which we might have to come over here and see if we can get water to mine there. Let's do an exploration to this one. The resource prospection of the location has revealed a deposit of nitrates as well as small hints of titanium. We can collect samples. We have 6 nitrates and 3 titanium from this. Oof. Let's go ahead and take that. And this opens up, as I suspected, a site where there's a deposit. So we can expand the city here, and then we can build a mine on this site for 4 power and 4 titanium. And it'll give us 1 nitrate per turn. And that's what we want to do. So let's go here, and let's mine it. And that spent our power, that spent our titanium. But we now have a second site attached to our city correctly, Wally. Go in here. And we've done the exploration thing, so there's not anything we can do here because we can't afford any of these buildings. We don't quite have the resources. So let's end turn. Earth has established a permanent trade route with us. With regular traffic between the 2 planets, we can expect our new colony to burgeon and grow as long as we can make the journey worthwhile for Earthborn travelers. Great, 1 trade route. So that's where this comes. Oh, let's do the research project first. Let's go with the laboratory. We already have one of these. Yeah, let's go with the lab. Get some science generating. So that's where these this trade routes comes into play, where you have 1 max trade route. And that you always get this one here at the same turn, I think exactly the same turn anyway. And you don't have to do these, but if you do, you can say, I want to export, say 1 energy so that I could import, 1 tritium. And then if we did that, for example, we could eventually afford, by selling energy that we aren't earning, we could eventually afford that power plant that we had passed on a couple of times to build to then generate our own energy. So there's an idea of something you could do with it. We're currently generating the nitrates and the food. I don't really want to lose either one, but what I could do is I could sell energy for food. Sell energy for food. And then that allows me to generate 1 additional food each turn by selling 1 energy. And that means I can possibly get to the 30 food we need for these modular apartments before he leaves us. So let's do an explore. Let's explore this one to get the nitrates faster. Resource prospection of the location has revealed a deposit of titanium as well as a small hints of nitrates. And that gets us 6 titanium and 3 nitrates. Delicious. All right, so let's go into the city, I think. Yes, because we can now build this tuber farm. I'm going to build it over here where the other farms are, I think. Maybe like this, because there are bonus buildings that we can perhaps boost our food production if we get it. So now our food production is 2, plus the 1 that we're getting from the trade by spending 1 energy. And I think that's everything that I wanted to do here. By the way, I right-click on the map to zoom out to the world view. I think that's it. Resource support. To increase their prestige, 3 big corporations are offering a gift of resources to one of your cities. Each corporation's resource package has different contents, but due to logistical considerations, you're only able to accept 1. Choose wisely. Do we want a bunch of titanium, a bunch of water, or a bunch of power? If we did the bunch of water, we could buy that other farm, which wouldn't be a bad deal. We have a decent supply of power right now, and we actually have a decent amount of titanium right now, so I think we'll go with the water. And we have the option of the power generator again. So maybe I will switch that up and do that. We don't need another habitat. We don't need another lab. Yeah, let's choose the power gen. And let's see. You're going to be a while on that. Let's go into the city. Should I explore this turn? Oh, and this one gave us a mine, by the way, for titanium. But we can't expand to it because we need to build more population and or robots in the town. Should we explore? So exploration, by the way, the cost in power depends on how far away from the town you're going. Each segment, regardless of whether you own the segment or not, counts as 1 power. So to go out to these ones here, all require 2 power, whereas these 2 here are only a single power. This one here, rather, is only a single power. So we've explored 3 of the 4 original connections that only require 1 power unit. I think we should, before we lose him, I think we should destroy those rocks here and here, just so that we don't have to worry about spending the power on those later. Oops. And then let's go ahead and build this other farm over here. That way we can do a booster building here and a booster building here for food production later. Yeah, I think so. We need to probably get some silicates. We're going to get nitrates per turn. And we are getting 3 food plus the 1 trade. That's 4 food per turn. We might make it. And then we'll work on this power thing, I think, next. Next turn. Exploration satellites from Earth. To help with our exploration efforts, Earth delivered an array of exploration satellites to the Martian orbit. This allows us to map out remote regions from the comfort of our homes without having to send an exploration team into the unknown. With this powerful tool, the Red Planet's resources shall soon be revealed. Get exploration satellites. And then we have a building choice here. Entertainment Center. This one is a population support boost building. With adjacent population, it provides +3 support per turn. This will cost us 4 power and 4 food to build, but it gets us that support boost. So let's take this one and put it in our queue here, or our kitty here. So now we have this button down here to explore for exploration, and I think we want to either explore someplace. We definitely want to explore someplace that's at least 2 power out. There's not really a whole lot of point in using the satellites to explore the closer ones, but we could easily explore one of the 2 power out ones. This one down here, by the way, has some sort of bonus to where it... Uh-oh, I think the game might have crashed. Uh-oh. That's not good. It's not good at all. Okay. I am going to pause the recording for a moment, and I'll be right back, one way or the other. Welcome back. At some point, I don't know if this was when I paused to fix the game, but it didn't unpause. So you may have missed a couple of turns here. I apologize for that. And I can't go back because... I don't think I can go back because the game autosaves each turn. Let's see if I can. Let's just pick a building here. Magnetic fusion plant, a hospital, and a laboratory. Let's go with the hospital. And I want to save and quit. No, say I can't go back. Okay, so I'm going to talk about what I did in the 2 or 3 turns that you might have missed here. I did another satellite scan of this site. No, this site here. We unlocked a canyon view, which gives us the ability to build a viewpoint tower. That viewpoint tower is a interesting site to build at, but you want to build it near. It wants to be near a city. Being this far out, 3 spaces out, is too far. We also explored this site here, which gave us some extra tritium, and unlocked a rocky plains where we can build a city building. And then we had we also expanded here and set up a mine for titanium. Within the city, I did a decent amount of building thanks to a bunch of resources coming to fruit at the same time. I built the second modular apartments. We got to 30 food. I built the tritium thermal generator because we got up to the 9 tritium. And so now we're generating 1 power per turn, but we're also selling that power to get more tritium. So we're at a net 0 here on the power, and we're gaining tritium per turn. I also put down a laboratory, so now we're gaining science per turn. And I was talking to nobody because the game was paused about building an entertainment center, and when I should do that. We also have the ability to build a robot hub, which gives us the ability to expand our city and link it to connections. Those connections that we want to link it to would probably be one of these two. But on the other hand, we don't have anything to build on those yet because those require a different type of card. We haven't found any yet. So I think we're going to wait on that. We may want to do an exploration of 2 distance now with Jorge. I think we're going to lose him this turn, maybe. I think it's only 10 turns. Maybe it's 20. No, it can't be 20. That seems too long. Okay, so I think that's everything that I did in a couple of turns. Really, everything that I did. Other than, deciding buildings to choose, like the hospital and the robot hub and a second laboratory. I think everything else you've seen. I think we're going to go ahead and build this entertainment center, though. I'm going to put that here. It's quite a possibility that I'll get another habitat unit here. I'll want to put another habitat module here, and I could put that here, and that would give me a bonus for that as well. One of the things that I pointed out is there are no connections that I've seen in any cities where 3 cities are connected in a triangle. They all seem to be linear. They do fork, but I mean, they're linear in that you don't have any loops. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's the case. Up here, we have a plus 12 support income. There's 7 here. The total is 7. Expectations is minus 5. That's one thing that happened, I think, while it was paused, too, is expectations were risen, so now we don't get the benefit of all the support. But we get it here in our victory points, which is nice. Our resource income is 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You get 3 points per, so that's 21. And then trade routes is 2 because we unlock the trade routes here, which is really nice. I think that's it. What's that button? That's his bonus. Constructing regional buildings, which are the ones you build on these tiles, costs 15% less resources, but we don't have any of those, and I think we're going to lose him anyway after this turn. So we should have him do an exploration for us. We could probably stand to gain... let's see. Could use the water, but that's very far. I think we'll go with this one. Yeah, let's go with this one. While prospecting the area, explorers have stumbled across a recent crater where the meteorite is still visible. They are normally pulverized on entry and impact, but this one had the rare perfect combination of entry speed, angle of attack, mass, density, and ground composition to survive. We should study it to gain an understanding of how it transpired. The resource survey of the area has revealed small hints of nitrates and titanium. This location is of significant importance. Scientific importance. We can collect samples, so plus 5 science, plus 2 nitrates, plus 2 titanium, and go. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is end this episode here. I'm sorry about the loss of the couple of turns. Hopefully, you're still able to... Hopefully I covered everything that was different, or that had been done, and you're still able to follow along the series. Let me know your thoughts on the game. if you enjoy this game, or you want to see more of this game, it'll probably be a 1 or 2 episode a week thing, just because of everything else I have going on my channel at the time. But keep an eye out for it. Let me know also how much reading you want me to actually do. I mean, I was reading all of these things that pop up. If you want me to cut back on the reading a little bit, like on the explorations or the whatevers, let me know in the comments, or visit me on Discord. You can find that link in the description below. Also, give me a like if you like this video. I've come to understand that likes and comments both contribute to the visibility of the video in searches and suggestions. So even though I'm not that much of a fan of asking, if you do enjoy the video, please consider liking and or commenting on the video. I want to once again thank Goblins Publishing for providing me with the key to play this for you today, and we'll see you all in the next episode. Thanks for coming. Bye for now.